Delightful dolphins of the deep. For ages, sailors have said that it is good luck to see dolphins swimming alongside boats. Their presence meant that land was near, which would be vital information if a boat and her crew were in danger. Some dolphins have even protected shipwrecked sailors from sharks. It is no wonder that these unique and fascinating creatures have long been known as our friends. You may think dolphins are fish, but they are actually mammals. They are related to whales and porpoises, and they evolved around 10 million years ago. Dolphins breathe air, give birth to live young, and feed them milk. They are social animals, living together in groups called pods or schools that range in size of up to 12. In places rich in food, many schools can combine together to form pods of up to 1,000 dolphins. Dolphins are thought to be intelligent animals because of their playfulness, curiosity, and quick ability to learn. They seem to communicate with each other through a combination of squeaks, whistles, and clicks. While scientists don't know what they are going on about, it is thought that dolphins are telling each other that food is nearby or warning each other of approaching danger. Dolphins use sonar to discover an object's size, shape, and location. By sending out a series of clicks and receiving the echo that bounces off the object, they can differentiate between a shark and a boat. Unfortunately, dolphins have faced increasing danger in recent years. Fishermen in pursuit of profitable tuna may accidentally trap dolphins in their nets, killing them in the process. These intelligent mammals of the sea deserve our protection, and is celebrating its 110th anniversary. And though it has gone through many changes, it still holds tight to the 500 years of its gastronomic knowledge. Le Cordon Bleu's origins date back to 1578, when a group of elite knights became famous for their extravagant banquets. The knights were each awarded a Cross of the Holy Spirit, which hung from a blue ribbon or cordon bleu, and their banquets were soon given this nickname. The school itself began as cooking lessons offered by top French chefs through an early 19th century magazine. Today, the school has been internationalized with 26 schools in 15 countries. Students of Le Cordon Bleu come from very different walks of life. Although many have culinary backgrounds, the school attracts people from every profession and category. All full-time students face 9 months of intense instruction, after which they can receive the Grand Diploma, showing their mastery of pastry and culinary fundamentals. Students are also taught the art de vivre, the French philosophy about the art of living. Nowadays, the biggest challenge for students is learning not only to be artists, but also managers, chemists, business persons, and entrepreneurs, while still upholding traditional gastronomy techniques and practices. It is this blend of tradition and forward thinking that keeps Le Cordon Bleu ranked as one of the top cooking schools in the world. Whether it's attending online classes or being inspired by the masters throughout history, like Auguste Escoffier, the father of French cuisine, Le Cordon Bleu is a wellspring of culinary knowledge for professionals and Universal amateurs Studios Hollywood alike. A place for fun, entertainment, and even history is taking its first steps in a 25-year plan to expand the park. The new outline envisions an incredible growth of the amusement facilities, as well as the development of a residential neighborhood in the area. This environmentally friendly living area is just another feather in the cap of this amazing park of wonder. Originally known as Universal City, Universal Studios Hollywood was founded in 1915 by Carl Laemmle. It was the first studio to offer tours where audiences could watch films in production. Since then, Universal Studios has grown to include theme parks, restaurants, hotels, shopping malls, and much more. This park proved to be so popular that Universal Studios Florida opened in 1990, and last year, Universal Studios Japan, Osaka, celebrated its 5th birthday. With so much past success from growth, it's no wonder that Universal is excited about its latest plans for expansion. Previous plans were scrapped due to complex zoning and environmental regulations. Now they are ready to move ahead in full force. While many new attractions are in the works for the new expansion, Universal will preserve some of its old attractions, such as the Bates Mansion from the film Psycho and the Mechanical Shark from Jaws. These attractions offer a historical perspective of the film industry. Preserving them illustrates the advance in film production techniques over the years. In addition to safeguarding the past, plenty of new, high-tech sound stages, rides, and theaters are in the works. In May, City Walk, a shopping, dining, and entertainment facility, began remodeling. Spring also saw the opening of SkyVenture Hollywood, an attraction where visitors can float 40 feet into the air on 125-mile-per-hour winds. Not bad for a studio once called the strangest an exercise in quieting the mind. Meditation can help restore mental balance, leading to a feeling of happiness and contentment. Think of the brain as a faucet where the water is constantly flowing. The flowing water is our thoughts about such things as the never-ending list of tasks that we have to do, should do, didn't do, and might do. Stopping the flow of these thoughts and slowing down the mind is the goal of meditation. By turning off the faucet, a person who practices meditation can attain clearer thinking, improved health, and a greater understanding of their own goals. When one first sits down to meditate, it may seem as though one's mind is racing at 100 miles a minute. One thinks of the report that needs to be turned in, the dishes that haven't been done, and the countless other problems in life that unconsciously stream in. This is because when meditating, one finally realizes how active the mind actually is. The focus must then be taken away from these thoughts and centered instead on breathing in deeply through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Although it seems simple to just breathe, in reality, it is easier said than done. Blocking out external thoughts takes a great deal of effort. By sitting in an upright position with legs folded and thumbs just barely touching the index fingers, meditation can bring relaxation and inner peace. All thoughts of the things that should, could, and would be fade away as the mind is quieted. Actresses on the silver screen looked elegant and sophisticated. What was the finishing touch to their look that made women across the Western world wish to imitate them? It was the perfect polish on their long fingernails. Manicuring and painting nails is not a new thing. The first known instances of nail care date back to China in 3000 BC, when members of the royal family used a mixture of silver, gold, egg whites, and beeswax to color and protect their nails. The paint used on fingernails in the 1930s and today, however, was actually made possible as a result of innovations in the automotive paint industry. The cosmetics company Revlon was started in 1932. Its founders used nail polishes that were pigment-based instead of dyes, and they had polishes available in a variety of colors. Up until that point, nail polish was only available in various shades of red. Revlon also brought in vogue the idea of matching nail and lip color. During the first half of the 20th century, men would receive manicures along with a haircut, shave, and shoe shine in a package deal. Over time, manicures for men went out of fashion. Yet in the 1990s, men once again started to care about the appearance of their nails. Now, men and women alike can be seen in nail salons getting their nails cleaned, trimmed, polished, and even painted. From natural to acrylic, fingernails come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Getting a manicure is one way to pamper yourself and look well kempt without breaking the bank. Bank.
Fans of E.B.
Well,
White's
on the other
Charlotte's
hand-
Web were delighted at last year's release of the newest film version of the classic children's novel. The tale of Wilbur the Pig and Charlotte the Spider has been enchanting audiences since the book's original publication in 1952. Charlotte's Web was not White's first attempt at writing children's literature. In 1945, he published Stuart Little, the charming tale of a tiny mouse and his human family. But these books were not what gave White his start in writing. Elwyn Brooks White always enjoyed the art of writing. His first real writing experiences occurred when he worked for the school paper during his university years. He did not try his hand at children's fiction until his niece gave him positive feedback on his stories. After his first 2 children's books were published, White received awards and accolades from people both inside and outside of the publishing industry. In 1959, White decided to edit William Strunk Jr.'s book, The Elements of Style. Strunk, one of White's college professors, first published this well-known piece in 1918. White's version was so popular that it has gone through numerous editions, with the most recent one in 2005 being illustrated. Grammar, Do's and Don'ts of American English fill this work, which is why it is usually listed as required reading in every university composition course. The Elements of Style assists the troubled writer and supplies its readers with examples of grammar and stylistic problems, offering immediate solutions. Anyone who has ever used this handbook knows its motto is, omit needless words. Most would agree this is easier said than
Imagine
done.
getting paid
to create food and drink or play Cupid with aromas that appeal to the masses. This might sound unreal to some, but for a select few, this is how they make their living. Men and women with discerning noses and perceptive taste buds can be indispensable employees in the food, beverage, and perfume industries. To make a perfume which blends well with the natural scent of people is the dream of every scientist working in perfume houses worldwide. Customers want perfumes to be soothing, subtle, versatile, while at the same time alluring. This is a tall order that can only be filled by someone who has an understanding of chemistry, botany, and climatology, as well as an exceptional sense of smell. If using your nose to make money is not your cup of tea, how about tasting chocolate all day long? For years, manufacturers have hired specialists to sample, buy, and create chocolates for their demanding customers. Traveling the globe, they look for that perfect blend that satisfies all of the senses. These experts are also becoming involved in research to support the medicinal benefits of the food. For those who want to work closer to Mother Nature, enology, more commonly known as the science of winemaking, might be more suitable. Almost all wineries employ a master winemaker. This person's duty is to miraculously turn a few tons of grapes into an aromatic wine. For some adventurous scientists out there, the way to success is paved with sweet smells and glorious
Diamonds
tastes.
aren't
Everyone's best friend.
I wonder-
In the middle of dinner, Victor got down on one knee. Taking Claire's hand in his, he spoke the words she had been dying to hear. Will you marry me? Claire beamed as Victor reached into his pocket, pulling out the velvet-covered jewelry box. Nestled inside was a 2-carat diamond. As he placed the ring on her finger, the look of joy on her face turned to horror as blood began to drip from the ring. This blood wasn't her own, but the blood of thousands of men and women who died as a result of the diamond she was now wearing. This example is an exaggerated illustration of the blood diamond trade. Blood diamonds are not red, nor are they dripping with blood. These are precious stones that are mined in countries that are considered war zones. The gems are then secretly sold, with the proceeds funding the war efforts of terrorists or of less than honorable military regimes. Africa may be the cradle of civilization, but in it sleep age-old feuds that have taken countless lives. The majority of the world's diamonds come from Africa. Countries such as Angola, Sierra Leone, and the Ivory Coast are known to produce some of the most pristine diamonds on Earth. These places are also known for their bloody wars and conflicts. In 1974, Portugal's rule of Angola came to an end. Soon after independence, fighting among different factions broke out. The Civil War lasted 27 years and took over 500,000 lives. Many of the bombs, bullets, and grenades used to kill were purchased using funds from the sale of diamonds. These diamonds found their way onto the fingers, wrists, and necks of the wealthy around the world. For years, the diamond trade was stained with the blood of these sorts of operations. However, the public as well as governments around the world eventually became informed about its violent nature. Sanctions against the diamond industry in these countries made a difference, and now most of these conflicts have been resolved, and the trade is sparked. Traveling to unexplored areas of the West came across bubbling mud lakes and water spurting from the earth high above their heads. They could not believe their eyes. Back east, they gave accounts of trees made of stone and glass-like mountains. Soon, skeptical visitors were flocking to this natural wonder to see the magic for themselves. Today, this magical place, Yellowstone National Park, is known worldwide. Covering 3,472 square miles in the U.S. states of Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, Yellowstone was the world's first national park, as well as a symbol of natural beauty and mystery. What makes the park so unique is its concentration of geothermal wonders found nowhere else. The hot springs in Yellowstone are very acidic and help to create beautiful limestone landscapes. Hot springs that shoot boiling water into the air are called geysers. In Yellowstone, the most famous is Old Faithful, which erupts every 91 minutes and reaches heights up to 55 meters. Another awe-inspiring attraction is the fumaroles, where one can see and hear steam rushing up through the cracks in the Earth's surface. Yellowstone also has mud pots, where clay colored by different minerals from the surrounding rocks can be seen. How did these natural phenomena come to be? Directly below the park is a layer of lava, or melted rock. Approximately 640,000 years ago, this lava erupted from under the surface, mixed with the water and gases on the ground, and created the structures that we can still observe today. At Yellowstone National Park, we can learn about the Earth's evolution over the course of walking through a park you have never visited before when a dog runs past, barking at a cluster of birds. You turn to see its owner smile and wave. Suddenly, you are overcome by the feeling that you have been here before, in this same park, with the same dog and birds, while the same owner is waving his arm in exactly the same way. By the time he lowers his arm, you realize the situation no longer fits quite so well with your fading recollection. You are sure once again that you have never been to this park. The familiarity is gone. Déjà vu, French for already seen, describes the peculiar feeling of having encountered an identical situation in the past without knowing exactly when or where. The memory is most often attributed to a dream. The feeling lasts only a few seconds and is usually tied to an ordinary event. It may be a visual scene recalled in detail or an uncanny knowledge of a new place. What is distinctive about déjà vu is not the situation itself, but the feeling that accompanies it. More than 70% of the population has experienced this phenomenon. Attempts to explain it range from past lives to repressed memories. Some people believe déjà vu is a form of precognition, the mysterious ability to know of an event before it happens. Scientists have linked déjà vu to neural disorders like schizophrenia and epilepsy, suggesting it could be a hiccup of the brain with no connection to the past. Is déjà vu ordinary or extraordinary? The answer remains a mystery, but perhaps you've heard all this before.